What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Solace Akron here, and today we have a new version of the Pokemon Let's Go OU Viability ranking by yours truly. And as you can see from the graphic there, we might just have, well, we don't have a new number one, but we have a number one that's probably staying there for good. But we have an official new graphic. Yay! Yeah, I don't know when the next video will be. It'll probably be a month from now. But we have something brand new to our viability list, and that is last month's usage stats via Showdown. Oh boy! Let's take a look at this before we move on to the viability list, because those are predicting present and future spots, not what happened in the last month. So let's review our first month of Let's Go. First off, I want to point out right away that Melmetal and Eevee were not included in this list, probably because, you know, they're not normal Pokemon, and whoever programmed Showdown forgot to put them in, and thus forgot to count their usage. So I am guesstimating based on my own findings about where these Pokemon sit in usage, and at number 1, or in this case rank 0, is Melmetal, which probably has somewhere between 75 and 95% usage. Now, when I did my own little survey, I looked at 30 teams, including one of my own, on the random Showdown ladder on a random Tuesday, just to get a glimpse of where things were. And Melmetal sat at 93%. Out of 30 teams, it was used 28 times. That is ridiculous. And Eevee was about 22.5, so it's up there. It's one of the most used Pokemon in the metagame, which is really great. I love seeing a Pokemon like Eevee be so high in usage, as well as Melmetal. We got 2 brand new Pokemon in very high usage. That's great. Anything of note here? Well, looks pretty normal actually. By the way, I'm using the 1630 stats. I thought they looked the most normal. I thought they were just the best stats. So we've got Alolan Muck, Zapdos, Rhydon, though. I see Zapdos' usage is probably going to shoot up as well after this, mostly because people didn't use Zapdos for about the first week or two. It was not really that common until people discovered how good it was. Mew, Mega Alakazam, Dragonite, Aerodactyl stuff. Anything really interesting? Jolteon probably does not belong on this list at all. We got Charizard-X, very high usage. Snorlax ended up getting very high usage in the end. Poliwrath is getting 9.7%. And we can safely say, even based on my own estimates, that Poliwrath is actually an OU viable Pokemon. We will get to that later. Stuff like Amistar is still hanging around. Golem has very low usage, and I don't quite understand why it's so low. It's my opinion that Golem needs a boost, and we will talk about Golem later. You see stuff like a Fable at the bottom of the list, and Alolan Sandslash, Pokemon and Moltres, Pokemon that I don't think will stay there for much longer, honestly. And stuff like Dugtrio, which I think will boost itself up quite high, as well as Alolan Executor. And yeah, Clefable bottoms out the list at 3.6%. Anything lower than that was below the 3.41. That's determined for OU in most tiers. So let's move on to the actual list. Melmetal hasn't changed. If anything, the arrow is still there because it is maybe S++. Unfortunately, we don't have official usage stats to confirm that. I would probably just keep it there in its own S rank, though. It's just so good right now. But Counterplay is building towards it. S rank, Mew is still there. We don't need to talk about Mew. Zapdos has joined S rank, mostly based on my own preliminary findings. Just that it's getting the second most usage in the metagame. And honestly, is there counterplay to it? Yes. We're seeing Alolan Dugtrio come up as a result of Zapdos directly. And honestly, having a ground type is one of the necessary things you have to have for team building in this game. You must include a ground type, lest you be very crippled by Zapdos. Let's move to A+. Mega Gyarados rises to the top of A+, mostly based off of its usage. It's a very good soft check to Gengar, Alakazam, Mega, and it's just very strong. I'm really surprised that Mega Gyarados ended up here, let's be honest. I thought it was pretty bad after it lost Dragon Dance, but it has proven itself to be maybe the best Mega in the game? Probably. It also is really good at checking those ground types, so it and Zapdos are just the most buddy-buddy. Alolan still near the top, so is Alakazam, so is Aerodactyl. I gotta drop Eevee down, but not because it's bad, only just because it's not getting insane usage, and I thought the metagame might revolve around it at first, but it is not really the centralizing factor here. You can do counterplay against Eevee, sure, but honestly, most people just beat it through brute force and just accept that a Pokemon's gonna get crippled, honestly. Dragonite, oh, I forgot to put an arrow on this boy, but he has risen up to A+, mostly based off of usage. He's an excellent late game sweeper, very good Pokemon. And yeah, Rhydon, it's got the arrow, but it's here. I don't know how much longer it's going to stay, but that usage doesn't lie. It's getting used quite a bit, even though I don't really think Rhydon's the best one right now, and I'll go into that very, very soon. Mega Venusaur, despite having quite a bit of usage, I just feel like it is not the best Mega of choice right now, and yeah. It's a good Mega, and it's very viable, which is why it's at the top of A rank, but honestly, I don't see it being one of those Pokemon that just, you know, is one of the Pokemon you think about when you choose a Pokemon for your team, honestly. Golem. Let's talk about Golem, guys. We need to talk about this right now, because I did not have any faith in Golem, okay? Golem was one of those Pokemon that was like, oh, even a Alolan Golem outclasses it. This is going to be just trash as we always thought it was, and no. This Pokemon is super good, okay? It is faster than Rhydon, which means in 1v1 situations, it gets up rocks first before Rhydon, and it beats it 1v1 every time. It has more defense than Rhydon, so you don't have to worry about getting killed before you kill it. So, look, Golem is super fast. It also beats relaxed variants of Muck, so you don't have to of a Alolan Muck, so that's even better. But honestly, what I think is that the fact that this thing beats Rhydon 1v1 is super useful. Do not sleep on Golem. Please, I implore all of you to use Golem. I implore everybody. Starmie, well, I can't leave it up in A+, because it's a great Pokemon, sure, but it's not meta-defining or, like, super good in this metagame, right? It's just okay. It's just solid. It's just a good Pokemon to keep around. Honestly, I think Venusaur is a better choice just because Grass typing and Leech Seed is so useful here, but Starmie is still extremely good. Do not sleep on Starmie. Mega Gengar, it's got a down arrow, but honestly, it's more like a solid arrow. Look, Will-O-Wisp is very good because if people want to wall your Gengar early game, you can, with Muck, you can burn it, or like Gyarados, you can burn those Pokemon. Of course, I'm starting to see it, and myself use a lot of Facade on those Pokemon so that they're not totally crippled as long as, well, that or you carry Eevee, you know, and then you don't have to worry about it. This is no surprise to anybody, but Alolan Dugtrio has risen up very high in the ranks, and it is for one reason. It is the ideal switch into Zapdos. It resists electric, or I mean, it's immune to electric. It does not get hit by Toxic or Thunder Wave. Both of Zapdos' chosen, you know, it's going to use one of those status moves. Drill Peck is resisted, and U-Turn is resisted. This is why Alolan Dugtrio is so high, because it is probably the best offensive Stealth Rocker that resists Zapdos. And it's fast too, so it can easily threaten Zapdos right away with a Rock Slide or a Toxic or whatever, or getting up rocks, which I think is fantastic. Oftentimes, like, Rhydon has to take a U-turn before it can get up its rocks, and that kind of sucks. Aerodactyl, look, Aerodactyl isn't bad, it's just, it's not as good as its Mega. Honestly, though, I can see this rising up in the future, just because normal Aerodactyl is oftentimes used when it comes to, like, oh, I'm using Mega Gyarados and Aerodactyl. Snorlax is on its way up. Honestly, it's a really good soft check. It's got really high special defense and HP. Very good Pokemon for being as a special defensive wall alongside stuff like Muck, because Muck's being used a lot. Alolan Exeggutor got a huge boost. Let me talk about this Pokemon for a second right now. It is surprisingly fast, at least faster than Melmetal, which is all that really matters. Now, unfortunately, its typing leaves it open to Ice Punch from Melmetal, but it can do a ton of damage with Flamethrower, and it is a great soft check to many, many, many Pokemon. It's probably the better of the Alolan or of the Exeggutors. Honestly, if you gave me a choice between Exeggutor and Alolan Exeggutor, I'm gonna pick Alolan every single time. Also, it is not 4x weak to U-turn, so there's that. Poliwrath, guys. Here's what I was talking about. This is one of the reasons why Gyarados is now A+, and it is because there has been obvious counterplay to it in Poliwrath. Poliwrath, as I once upon a time said, was gonna be the wall to Mega Gyarados. I put that very early on, and then Mega Gyarados lost Dragon Dance, and I thought with the viability of Gyarados gone, so was the viability of Poliwrath. But I was wrong, because there are ground types aplenty in this metagame. A ton of ground types, and so it is very good against Melmetal, Eevee, Rhydon, Golem, Alolan Dugtrio, and it can bulk up, it can use Mist, it can use Haze, though I would not use bulk up and Haze necessarily. Low Kick and Superpower are super useful. They both do 120 damage to Melmetal, and Superpower works really well in conjunction with Bulk Up. So if I'm running Bulk Up, I'm probably not running Haze. I don't even know why I have that on there, but yeah, Poliwrath is very well used. Let's move on to Chansey, folks. Chansey is getting a little better too. I don't see a ton of it though, mostly because it has piss poor defense, but as a special defensive check, it is able to keep up momentum with Teleport, which, by the way, folks, is going to be really, really good come Gen 8 if Teleport keeps that effect. It'll be able to come in on stuff, and we talked about this before, but Teleport is right now the best move for Chansey in that 4th slot, simply because, let's say you know the Rhydon's coming in, or it could be that Poliwrath or something, right? You don't want to hard switch, because you might get the switch wrong and you have to switch again and take more rocks. You wall that Alakazam out in front of you, go for Teleport. Get something else out that beats that Pokemon. Right. Mega Blastoise. Now, I know you all talked about me, or you all heard me talk about how great Mega Blastoise is. Look, guys, I misjudged this Pokemon quite a bit. I still think it's excellent. This is why that it's still in A rank. At least I believe it's A rank. Am I still in the A ranks? Yep. It's still an A rank Pokemon, okay? It's still very, very good. But honestly, look, Hydro Pump and Dark Pulse. What else gets water and dark coverage? Mega Gyarados? Yeah, guys. Mega Gyarados is obviously a better choice. It does what Blastoise does way, way better. Way, way better. Still, it's a cool-ass Pokemon, and you will see me use it in some of my Wi-Fi battles. Venusaur, I gotta boost this guy up. Even though Mega Venusaur's down, it's mostly because, like, hey, Mega Venusaur maybe not the best Mega to use right now, but Venusaur on its own, pretty damn good. I would have to say. It does basically the same thing as Mega Venusaur. Nothing much to talk about there. Everything's still the same. Let's move to A- rank. I gotta move Amistar and Venomoth both down. Mostly just because they're not seeing the usage, despite them being good Pokemon, so they fall down pretty far. Same with Mega Bro. What I thought was going to be easily the best Mega in this game, potentially even broken, has turned out to be not so good. Honestly, I've seen more like offensive sets for Mega Slowbro, and just like working on that great defense as a Pokemon, just being one of those Pokemon that doesn't have recovery. So you can run Calm Mindsets, you can run 4 attacks. It doesn't really matter to me. It's still a cool Pokemon in my opinion, but honestly, if you want to use an offensive water type Mega, just use Mega Blastoise, like special one. Mega Pinsir is still low because of Stealth Rocks, not much there. Not much has changed. So we're moving into B rank now. Not much has changed here. I think Charizard-X is way too low on this list. I would honestly stick it in the A- simply because it's really good right now. So let us talk about Mega Charizard-X and one of the innovations that's coming up. One of those big counterplays to Melmetal. I talked about this a little before, but I'm tending to see more of a and oh yeah, this is all screwed up. Probably because I'm running 3 sets on this. Okay, look, there's Adamant, which is offensive, which is, in my opinion, a bit poor for this Pokemon. There's Impish, which is my preferred set simply because, well, I like using Flare Blitz. It's a cool move that hits very hard, and it's still 2-hit KOs, Melmetal. And I don't know if it's bold Charizard-X or if it's modest. Honestly, I do not know. For those of you who know how to use Charizard-X, please let me know what set that is. I would like to fix this right away. Though not right now, but honestly, what they're running on sets is they're running Will-O-Wisp, Fire Blast, Roost, and then Dragon Pulse. I prefer Substitute to avoid status, but you can run Dragon Pulse for neutral coverage, but honestly, either of these, if it's Impish, Bold, or Modest, any of these sets does really well right now if you're able to get Mega Charizard in before Rocks. Then it only takes 25%. It is super bulky and super strong. And it's probably the best check the Melmetal right now, or keeping it out. Machamp's moving up because it's OU somehow. Even though I think it still suffers in a metagame with Mega Alakazam and Mew. It's a really good fighting type, and it can beat Melmetal, and it can beat like Rhydon and stuff, and that's pretty good, right? Anything else? I gotta say Arcanine probably moving up too for the same reason as Charizard. Unfortunately lacks recovery. If it had recovery like Morning Sun, it'd be really good. In fact, I would say it would be probably A+. But alas, it doesn't have Morning Sun. Anything else change? Yeah, you gotta move Slowbro and Mega Alolan, or Alolan Golem down really far. I moved Rapidash up because it's a fire type just like Arcanine. It's really fast. And very, very good Pokemon. Honestly, you can run Will-O-Wisp over Agility here. It doesn't really matter. A lot of Pokemon like Moltres or Alolan Ninetales moving out of the B+, which is really like the OU cutoff for me. Magneton went up. Magneton's going to continue to rise, in my opinion. It's really cool because you can't Toxic or, Thunder Wave it. So it can set up substitutes on stuff, on really fat stuff, and get off Toxics itself. Or actually, this doesn't even have a Toxic on it. Whatever. This Pokemon, So, despite it being an OU right now, it's not going to stay that way. It was a trend. Okay, it was a trend. People using it. People wanted to try it. Some nut on YouTube was like, "Oh, look, it has Ice Shard. It's got priority, guys. Yeah, that makes it good, right?" No, it means it's trash. Okay. Okay, I mean, it's not trash. It's like Alolan Marowak in Sun and Moon OU, right? It was really cool and good at first, but after a while, it's just like, I could run something real, actually good in its spot, and that tends to be what happened. Honestly, that's probably about it. Everything is about the same. If you want to check out this list, there is a link for it in the description, so please look at that. This gets updated almost every week, sometimes every day. Little bits here and there get changed, and everything gets, it's a little different than before. And lastly, most importantly, guys, if you liked this video, please leave a like, please leave a comment, and if you really like my content, please subscribe. That would be amazing, and I would love it. We're up to like 21 subscribers, which is nothing, but we're getting there. It doesn't really matter that much to me, but yeah, this is probably gonna be the last one this month, unless major changes come along, like, I don't know, some new meta trend, or maybe a suspect test comes along and something gets banned. We will see. For now, though, well, I'm gonna have other videos up, of course, probably next week. But for now, happy holidays, everybody, and have a wonderful time with your friends and family during this festive time of year. And this is Salas Acaron signing off. Peace.